Is it time to blow it up in Los Angeles? Because LA Times columnist Bill Plaschke said it would be best for the Lakers if LeBron James and Anthony Davis ask out, not even the Lakers trade them, but the two of them actually ask to be traded. Interesting report. We'll break it down here at Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff. This is what Plaschke actually wrote on the situation, saying, "Dear LeBron, ask out. Dear AD, follow him. This is my Christmas wish for a Lakers franchise that has lost the town to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Lost the season because of a lousy roster and just lost by 41 points to Pat Riley. After a quarter of the season, the Lakers are no better than a bottom seed in the Western Conference, surely headed for a third consecutive appearance in the play-in tournament, seemingly destined for a second consecutive first-round knockout. It's over. Already. There is no hope. Again. With no first-round draft pick and suffocating salaries, they might not be any better next year, really." So harsh words from Bill Plaschke, who did not mince any words there. And if you agree with him, let us know here at the channel. Should LeBron James and Anthony Davis ask out of Los Angeles? Type Y for yes or type N for no. It is today's pinned comment. So if you hit with YouTube ad break, let it play. Scroll down and answer it down below. I am going to side with the idea of Bill Plaschke. If it wasn't obvious before, it probably should be now. Now, do I want LeBron James and Anthony Davis to leave? No, I love them. They brought a championship to Los Angeles. Like, it's awesome. Like, they're all always going to be good by me. But when you think about the future of the Lakers, where is it actually going? Because right now, in a supposed win-now window, they are not really even close to competing for a title. Like, seriously, like, the Lakers will be a competitive team this year. I think, like Plaschke said, they'll be potentially in the postseason, at worst be in the play-in. But do we seriously think they're going to be able to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in a playoff series? No, I don't think so. Do they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in a playoff series? I don't think so. Are they going to be able to beat the Denver Nuggets in the playoff series? They haven't before, so why would they start now? Rockets are up and coming. Grizzlies are playing well. Mavericks are coming off of a title run and also playing well. Like, there is no possible avenue, in my opinion, that the Lakers win a championship unless they somehow make some crazy trade at the NBA trade deadline where they acquire a player that ultimately changes this team around. It's not really possible due to the CBA. Like, there's not a player out there that is cheap enough to acquire, in my opinion. So you could mention Jimmy Butler, who today was linked as someone who could be traded by the Miami Heat. That's not going to happen. This team is not going to win a championship. So if you, and I said this on the Heat Report because I do host the Heat Report. If you are not going to win a championship and you have an aging superstar and superstars in the Lakers case, why would you not just completely rebuild? Because if you're not going to be able to compete now, you're not going to be able to compete in the future because your long-term plans don't really look to be that good. Why not just completely rebuild and start to reset at that young core? Like, seriously, like, what is this team's future post-LeBron James? Like, let's just take Anthony Davis out of it and say you roll with AD for the future and just trade LeBron or let LeBron retire, whatever you want to say. Do we think a core of Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Dalton Knecht, and Rui Hachimura is going to be able to do anything in the NBA? Absolutely not. That's why the missed pick in 2023 of Jalen Hood-Schifino hurts even more, because if he ultimately became the player that I thought he was going to be, because I actually really like JHS, and I thought he was going to be a really good guard in this league, well, then you'd have a different story. But with that not being the case, you don't really have a good young player and players to build around. And you could say Anthony Davis, but when you think about how many games he has missed this Lakers tenure, like, it's clear that he can't be a number one option. He could be a number two, but you also have to have a really good supporting cast because the Lakers have had a really good one in LeBron, a really good two in Anthony Davis, but have not been able to get back to any playoff relevance since the NBA title in the bubble. And when you specifically talk about Anthony Davis's issues of staying on the court, he can't carry a team. He is really, really good when on the floor. There's no debating that. All-world defensively. He's giving you 25 and 10 on a nightly basis. But he can't carry a team as a number one because, one, he gets injured too much. And, well, one, the proof is in the pudding. When he was in his young prime as a New Orleans Pelican, as an MVP guy, an All-NBA guy on the first and second team consistently. Like, the Pelicans weren't good, and sure, the supporting teams and rosters on those teams were not good whatsoever, but, like, they're not going to be that much better in Los Angeles. You see the records in New Orleans with Andy Davis. One playoff series win. AD has been spectacular this season. But with him not really having that good of a three-point shot anymore, like he shot the three ball better in New Orleans his first year in the Lakers uniform, like he just simply is not going to be able to continue the play that he has, especially as he gets older and older and older. And when you look forward for the Lakers, LeBron is near retirement. It's either going to come, it's not going to come this year because he's doing a retirement tour. It's probably either next year or the year after. 80's 31 and unreliable. And then J.J. Redick is a first-year head coach who I don't mind J.J. offensively, but his defensive coaching is not good. And you can make the argument he was hired just to be here with LeBron. So if LeBron leaves, you don't really have a head coach that the rest of the team may trust. Anthony Davis is getting older and older, and it might be time to just blow it up and fully go into a rebuild. So hit that sub button because we're going to bring you more content daily. Cullen, our channel manager, is doing an excellent job of getting y'all content on a weekly basis. We're continuing to up our content as we get closer to the trade deadline. Hit that sub button for the latest Lakers news and rumors. All right, before we get more into the show, we do want to tell you about our sponsor on today's show, and that is Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports platform. And you have to make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. And during the holidays, you can now win up to 200 times your money on Prize Picks. And Prize Picks also now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits in your account this sports season. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December, and they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Picksmas. Merry Picksmas. You can make so many picks in the sports world. Think Steph Curry will get more than 5 3-pointers next week. Giannis for more than 35 points. Cook up your hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season. You can also still get some action on the football season. We're doing a little cross-play action, taking advantage of a free pick here from Prize Picks, more than Patrick Mahomes, half a passing yards for this upcoming week in football against the Cleveland Browns. And then we'll also pair it up with a P.J. Washington, more than 11.5 points on Tuesday night's NBA Cup action. 2-player entry here. You can make your lineups as customizable as you want. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is a deal on top of the other deals they already have rocking for you. One more time, download the app today and use code CLNS when creating an account to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. We mentioned J.J. Redick being fine offensively, but not very good defensively. The numbers are even worse than the eye test. I got to be honest. There is only 30 teams in the NBA. They rank in the bottom 5 defensively in almost every category. Defensive rating, 26th, 4th worst. Second chance points allowed, 25th. Defensive rebounding percentage, 25th. Opponent points per game, 26th. Fast break, 27th. Like, you are letting your opponents get easy buckets on fast break opportunities, second chance opportunities. I would argue as a defense, if you can be top half in the NBA in limiting fast break and limiting second chance points, you are going to be at worst a middle of the pack defense, because when you force opposing teams to beat you in the half court and not give them second opportunities, you are going to be able to play good defense. The Lakers have been unable to do that, and you wonder why the opponent points per game in the paint is so high when you have Anthony Davis, one of the better rim protectors in the NBA. Could it be because he is not as good defensively as he once was? Is it because of the lack of depth behind Anthony Davis when Davis takes his augmented 16, 18 minutes of rest per night? And when you really start to bring it all together here, LeBron James, excellent player. There's no debating that. Second or best player in NBA history. He is not going to give you the defensive effort that is required every night, and nor should he. He's 40 years old. Like, come on. You saw that chase down block he had in overtime against the Hawks in that game they lost. Like, he's still giving you effort when it needs to be, but he's not going to be able to do it on a night-to-night consistent basis. And you need to be able to build a roster that is youthful, athletic, good defensively, as well as shooting around a LeBron James Anthony Davis duo. Those two are fantastic. But if you don't have shooters and you don't have athletes that can defend around them, you're going to be in trouble. And he can't be relied on defensively. And LeBron James on JJ Redick's podcast just last March said the same thing that I'm saying. He's got to pick his spots. Definitely got to pick my spots. Can I do it every night? I don't want to say I could do it for a whole game. I mean, I'll take the challenge for sure, but that's just because I'm a competitor. I was born that way. I've thought that way. I'll die on the court because I love it so much. Listen, these defensive issues cannot be pointed to LeBron James. But you also, as a Lakers fan, have to realize if you want LeBron James giving you 23, 9, and 8 on 50% shooting offensively, that he's not going to be able to play lockdown Kawhi Leonard type defense at his prime like every night. You just can't expect that with LeBron James' age. So, like I mentioned just a second ago, if you want to be a competitive team with LeBron and AD, who both have load management issues, you need to have a roster around them that is athletic, can defend, and can shoot. LeBron has defied father time. But like I just mentioned, you cannot be a serious contender with your best players not giving the effort consistently defensively and not having players around them that can mask their lack of effort at times. Because LeBron James' defensive rating is right where the Lakers team is. It's almost like LeBron, when he tries defensively, the Lakers are good defensively. But when he doesn't try and has to take some time off, well, that's when the Lakers really struggle on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, you could look to the roster construction. You could look to a lot of things, which is why maybe it's just better to get a complete reset and start to build this roster in a different way. All right, to round out today's show, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, should they ask out? Maybe. Will they ask out? No, they will not. It's just not in LeBron James's DNA to ask for a trade middle of the season. Maybe in the offseason, sure. But it's not going to happen now. That's for sure. I don't think Anthony Davis will ask out either. But as a organization and a franchise, if the Lakers continue to push off building up this team with young talent, young players, they get further and further away from winning that 18th championship. Seriously. It sucks to admit, but they will become closer to winning a title in the NBA if they trade LeBron James and Anthony Davis tomorrow than if they continue to just stick with this build that is consistently going to have them in the play-in and first-round exits like Bill Plaschke mentioned off the top of today's show. All right, so to round out and finish today's show, should LeBron James and Anthony Davis ask out of L.A.? It's the question we asked earlier in the show. Type Y for yes, type N for no after we went through it all. And if they do end up making any moves at the deadline, acquiring a player, trading a player away, we will have you covered here at the channel. So hit that sub button. Great revolving cast here at Lakers Report. And if you want a consistent host, well, make sure you hit that sub button and show our bosses that you like one of us specifically. Maybe it's me. I mean, who wouldn't like me? I'm just saying, and I'm just kidding. Hit that sub button.